Math 50 5.5, second part of converting fractions to decimals and order of operations with decimals. So for example, we're on example 14. Example 14 says 5.68 plus 0.9 squared divided by 100. You have to do all that first and then divide it by 0.2. So if you square 0.9, which is 0.9 times 0.9, you get 0.81. And if you divide that by 100, you're moving the decimal 2 places to the left. And then, so that becomes, this whole thing becomes 0.0081. And if you add 5 to this, 5.68, you get 5.6881. So in the numerator, you have 5.6881 and divide that by 0.2. So you have to move this over 1, move that over 1. So it's 2 goes into 56.881. So 2 goes into 5 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract. 8 times 2 is 16. Subtract. Bring down the 8. So decimals right there. 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract. Bring down the 8. 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract. Bring down the 1. And add a 0. And so you're going to end up with 2.44. And 2 does not go into 1. So it's 0. And then bring down the 0 and you have 2 times 5 is 10. So it's 28.4405. The last two problems involve area and solving an expression. So the area of a triangle, area is 1/2 base times the height. So you have a triangle here and the base is 5.6. and the height is 3 feet. So basically all you're doing is using the formula. Area is 1/2 times the base. The base is 5.6. And then times the height. And the height of this triangle is 3 feet. Make sure that they're all in the same unit. So if one's in inches and one's in feet, you have to convert it. So this is saying half. Because this is an even number, you can take half of that. Or what you can do is multiply 1 times 5.6 times 3, and then take all that and divide it by 2. Either way works. So if you want to do 5.6 times 3, 6 times 3 is 18, 15, 16. So this is 16.8. And then divide that by 2. 2 goes into 16.8. 8 times 2 is 16. And bring down the 8. And it's 8.4. So the answer is 8.4 square feet. Always, when you're dealing with area, it's units squared. So it's 8.4 feet squared. And the last problem is if you have this is an expression. It says negative 2x plus 5. They want you to replace 3.8 for x, so it's negative 2 times 3.8 and then add 5. So order of operations says you do this first. So 3.8 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. 6 and 1 is 7. And then put your decimal in. Now remember that this is a negative. A negative times a positive is a negative. So it's negative 7.6. And then if you added 5, put your 5, make sure you understand there's a decimal after. Make sure your decimals are lined up. Now you're really subtracting these two. So 7 minus 5 and 6 minus 0. So this is 2.6, but it's negative because you have more negative than positive. So the answer is negative 2.6. And that concludes section 5.5.